We're in Grand Forks for our latest Summer Sitdown series, joined alongside the head coach for North Dakota basketball. I'm talking about Paul Sather. It's been a busy offseason for you, not just for this season's team, but for future UND teams. How big of a summer has it been in terms of recruiting for you?
Well, it's when the season's done now, the new season starts. And obviously, the last few years in college basketball in general, there's a lot of change that takes place. So when the season wraps up in March, you spend a lot of time, you're recruiting high school kids, but you're also spending time trying to find a few transfers to maybe replace what you lost in the portal. So it's been busy. We had a little bit of time there in May to kind of breathe, and then the first wave of guys came in. Most of the transfers and our returners came back in the first week of June, and then the second week of June we've got our freshmen in. So we're missing one. Other than that, we got the whole crew here.
Yeah, you alluded to it. How great is it that it's the middle of June, but you have a majority of your roster here, just in terms of team chemistry building?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I just think there's new guys coming in that they need to come in and make an impact, and that process gets speeded up a little bit for the need for them to come in and make an impact quicker. So we think our transfers are two guys that, Josh from Oral Roberts and Gare from Central Washington. I just think they're two guys that have a lot of experience that, really should be impactful. And I think we got some freshman guys to go along with the returners that, we can really fill some spots and fill some roles.
I think the biggest question, not just for UND fans, but all across the Summit League, is how is this team going to look next season without Treysen Eaglestaff?
We've got really good guys returning that have kind of been waiting for their opportunity in turn. I think, you replace a guy like Treysen, you lose Mir, you lose Darius, you lose Amar, you lose Dank. There's a lot of different guys you lose, right? Sometimes the ability to kind of spread points out it's a little less significant, to be honest with you, when you can kind of spread those points out a little bit. The experience that Trey brought, his ability to kind of make plays for others was another thing. But I just think we've got some guys in waiting that are excited about the opportunity and that challenge. And I think defensively we got a chance to really grow this summer and maybe do some things a little bit differently defensively that can help us be better on that side of the floor than what we were. So we'll have a different look to us than what we've had the last year. I think we're all excited about it.
Yeah, you're alluding to that as well. 5 of your top 6 offensive contributors from last season aren't on this team. So you're right, new players are going to have to step in. Are you leaning more towards younger players, the transfers? Who are you kind of expecting to fill those roles offensively?
Well, we'll see. It's the second week of June, and we don't even have everybody here yet. And so once we get some time, I think this summer will give a decent indication, but it's still not for these freshmen. They're going through this now for the first time. And I think you'll see growth. I think with the expectations with some of our returning guys that maybe haven't quite got that opportunity, this is their opportunity to really step forward and shine and be someone that, hey, I can fill this role, I can fill this need, and that's what we're here for this summer. That's what we're excited about learning and finding out. And for me to even think I know, it would be an absolute, I have no idea. And it's kind of fun, it's kind of scary, but what I see in the group that we've been practicing with and even a little bit of time we've had with our freshman group, you definitely see the potential and the abilities. We got some size, we got some length, we got some really good athleticism. But I think we got a group that's really connected and really engaged. They seem to like each other so far. So it's a good start.
Well, rebuilding and reshaping and reloading rosters is kind of becoming the new norm, especially in the Summit League, just in terms of the transfer portal. How have you kind of embraced this as you're starting to get more years under your belt under this new system of having to constantly recruit and rebuild your roster?
It's a staff effort. I think you spend a lot of your fall when school starts into kind of your season, getting to know the junior college world a little bit and what's going to be out there. You're also trying to get ready for high school recruiting. And in the meantime, you're trying to bring in these new guys and build your team and get ready for your practices to start. But as a staff, I think as the season progresses, you're out recruiting and you're learning a lot about different players that are going to be available. Then the portal opens up and there's a whole other class of kids that you're looking at trying to identify to kind of build your program. And so this whole reload, rebuild, all these things, I think every year now it kind of brings a new twist to what your roster is going to look like. You don't know what it's going to look like a year from now or 2 years from now. And so, you know, the work you're putting in early throughout the year, and then in that springtime when the portal opens up, you really count on your staff. And our staff, I thought, did an awesome job putting the work in.
You said, you know, we're in the middle of June right now, working on team chemistry. What are some other things that you're maybe working on in the summer months that's going to help you once school resumes?
Understanding what it takes. You know, I think just the idea how hard you got to play, working through mistakes. You got freshmen that maybe have been the best player in their team for the last few years. They're coming into a college setting for the first time. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to get really challenged in a way they haven't been challenged. So it's learning how to play through mistakes, still get better. Making mistakes is a good thing. It helps you improve. It identifies the things that you got to work on. But you got to you know, stay humble, and you got to, you know, work through that and play through the mistakes. And then just understanding how hard it is and how hard you got to play and how you got to compete. You know, we talk a lot about like multiple efforts, and every single day it's time to show up and bring your best and try to help yourself and the guys around you get better. And there's no real secret sauce to it. It's just rolling the sleeves up and working and making it about the right stuff. Keeping your focus in on improvement, your team, and just every day showing up to work.
Is it crazy to think that you're going into your 7th season here already?
Yeah, well, it is. It just is in general. You know, I got a daughter that graduated high school. Kelsey and I are going to be, empty nesters coming up. There's a lot of things that it's just time flies by. It really does. You kind of blink, and you know, the next thing you know, you're well into your 20th year of being a head coach, and you know, we're going to be in our 7th year here at UND. So it's an awesome place. There's so many exciting things taking place here, and you know, just really excited to be part of it.
We'll appreciate the time as always. We'll chat more soon, but first, enjoy the rest of your summer.
Thanks.